So you're thinking about moving to Las Vegas and you have a family. Well, I don't know if you knew this, but right now Nevada ranks 49th in the nation in education. Yet there are world-class schools here in Las Vegas. So let's go ahead and talk about separating the wheat from the chaff. And if you are moving here with your family, finding the best schools. Hey, if we haven't met before, my name is Eric Hudson. I am a real estate agent here in Las Vegas. And if you ever need any kind of help, call, text, email. Information is below, also in the info tab. Most importantly, there's a calendar link down there, and you can get on my calendar at any time, and we can talk about real estate. So if you're planning to move to Las Vegas or you're already a resident, you probably figured out by now that finding the right school for your child is likely at the top of your priorities, especially if you're buying a house. But no matter where you're living, you may want to get that done. So there are many options to choose from, and it can be overwhelming to know where to start. Don't worry, we got your back. We're here to help. And in this video, we'll walk you through the process of finding the best schools in the Las Vegas area, which includes Las Vegas, North Las Vegas, and Henderson, as always, so you can rest easy knowing that your child is getting the education that they deserve. So what we're going to do is we're going to break this down into 5 steps to research education sources and also figure out where you want to be to get the education you want for your child. So step 1, you need to start researching the different schools. So as you may or may not know, Clark County School District is the number 5 of the top 5 school districts in the country based on size, number of students, staff, and all that good stuff. So other than private education, you only have one choice, but you do have a choice on where you can live and how that affects your child. One of the first things you can do is actually look at the websites for the schools. See what amenities they offer, what activities. You can also reach out to the district officials. Believe it or not, they will want to help you out. Even though we are a growing school system, yep, we're still growing. A lot of people are moving to Las Vegas every day. They want to make sure that your child gets the best education possible. Sometimes that's a little difficult, but they do want to help. Step 2, what about the test scores of the students? Do they have things like an AP program? If your child is college bound, you want to make sure they have the best leg up. Research these things. Going back to that website, it's going to talk about the activities and clubs that that school has, special programs, international baccalaureate programs, such as that. These are things that you need to start looking at. Now, how do you find these education scores? Well, you can actually find the test scores at the Nevada Department of Education website, so you can see how all of the schools compare. The website will show you things like standard test scores, graduation rates, and other statistics. By looking at this information, you can see how the schools that you're considering compare with other schools in the area. So when you're doing your house search, you can say, okay, this school falls here. Okay, these are the scores. Some other sources that are not tied to the Nevada Department of Education, and these are my 2 favorites. One is greatschools.org. They actually give letter grades to schools, and another one is niche.com. They provide comprehensive school ratings that take into account the test scores, student-teacher ratio, parent reviews, and more. As a matter of fact, go to greatschools.org. You'll actually see comments made by parents and the students themselves about the quality of that school. Now, step 3 is if you want to get really detailed, you can go and visit the school. Ask for a site visit. Some schools will allow you to, have an accompanied tour or something. If you're here and it's during the school year and you do happen to have your children with you, this will be a great time. Some schools will let you sit in on a class, which can be really good, so you can see what the dynamics between the students and the teachers are. This is also an opportunity so you can see what facilities are available, if they meet your child's standard, and what other activities. Do they have a ball field? Is the ball field remote? Things like that. Look to see how well they've been keeping that school up. Look for the cleanliness and the upkeep of the facilities. and also the behavior of the students. Remember, your child is going to emulate the top 5 friends they hang out with. So are they hanging out with kids that are going to get them into college? Or are they hanging out with kids who are going to get them into trouble? Step 4, what extracurricular activities and programs does that school offer? Well, some offer so many, I mean, you'll just, oh my goodness, what are you going to do? A photography club, chess club, Spanish club. Speaking of Spanish, what languages are taught there? Do they require a language at that school? If so, how many years? Will it be helpful to your child? Do they teach Spanish, or do they have a Chinese program or some other exotic language that your child would love to learn? Is your child a musician, an artist? Well, these programs can help provide your students with a chance to explore new interests, develop new skills, build self-esteem, and make lifelong friends. So I know one school here in particular, it's a private school though. It's called Bishop Gorman. They have a very vast network and they all help each other out. Right now, my nephew is actually the JV quarterback. So hopefully if he stays in Las Vegas, that's going to help him out a bit. And finally, step 5, get feedback from other parents. This can also be part of your due diligence. So let's say you're buying a house. You have a period of 7 to 10 days called due diligence where you can figure out whether you really want to buy that house. And one of the things you should add in there, including things like doing an inspection, is if you have a family, what are the schools like? Go to those websites we discussed and you can figure that out along with the tours. I mean, that will be a great time just to drive by, see what the schools are like, where your child is going to be going to school, the education they're going to receive. Another thing you could do, go to websites, not only the website of the school and greatschools.org, but see if you can find other reviews on that school and what the parents have to say. You may be able to find a few of these parents and you can sit down with them for a coffee at Starbucks and really find out what that school did for the students. Now, the easiest thing to do is go to social media. There's this thing called Facebook. They may have a group for that school that's dedicated to the parents and the students. You can connect to people there. During these 10 days, find out. Tell me more. See if you can get into the group. Some are private. They may let you in. And you're just saying like, hey, I want to know what this school is about. See if you can connect with parents who have children who have similar interests to your child. So if you have a child that has certain needs, this is a good time for you to reach out and find other parents who have children with those needs. Ask the parents, what is their overall experience? Did their child like that school or their teenager? How did it help them? Did it help them get into college? So maybe talk to someone whose child is a college freshman or sophomore. Did this school prepare your child? These are things you definitely want to know, because if you buy a house and you're looking at something like, am I going to be able to save money on this house, or trying to say, I want to pay this amount. Well, what if you just spent a little bit more and was one district over and that school had an A+ rating? It was 10 out of 10. Save a few $1,000 here, or do you want to have great schools? By following these 5 steps, you'll have a better chance of finding the best house and the best school for your child to provide the education that they need to help them in the future. I hope you found this video a little helpful, and if you want some more help, you can always reach out. Our contact information is below and in the info tab. Text, call, email, and most importantly, easiest way to contact me is get on my calendar below. That way you know that my time has been reserved straight for you. If you found this video even the slightest bit helpful, do me the favor, hit that subscribe button, thumbs up, leave a comment, because that's the way the YouTube algorithm works.